Good morning and welcome. My name's Leanne Peters, and this is our personal healing event for some of my patrons for December 2025. So I have 4 people on my healing list, and again, I have you in my favorite little froggy pot, and I'll pluck your names out shortly. But before I do, I'll just explain a little bit about what I'm doing. Welcome, Jackie. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. So, I will be connecting with each of my 4 people for approximately 10 minutes, give or take a few minutes either side, depending on the energy. So I'll be tuning into each person. I'm going to be starting every connection with a healing energy card. So I have healing energy cards, deck 1, and healing energy cards, the new deck 2. So I've got those combined because I love combining cards, and I have 110 cards here. So I'll be pulling a card to start and finish each connection. In the middle of that, I'll be tuning in. So, what that means for me is I'll be tuning in to the person that I'm connecting with. How do I do that? The way I do it is I am very sensitive in my body. So, I know what it feels to be me sitting here now. I know what it feels like to be in my body. When I start thinking about a person or tuning in, I start picking up things that I don't usually feel, that I know is not my usual way of feeling on the configuration of how I feel, if that makes sense. So over the years, over the last 20 plus years, I've worked out how to interpret this energy, refine it, and become even more sensitive to it, but sensitive in a way that is of my choosing. So I choose when I turn it on, and I choose when I turn it off. So I turn it on when I'm tuning in. Part of my bookends of that tuning in is picking a healing energy card. So this is like a signal of tuning in when I pick the first one, and it's a signal of tuning out when I pick the last one, just generally speaking. And then I pick up things in my body. I also have flashes in my mind, and everything will be connected. I know when I must be reasonably on point because the energy moves, so it will flow, a new feeling will come up. If things become stuck or stagnant or nothing much is happening, then I'm missing something. So I need to go back, or I need to look at it from another angle. So I just figure all that out as I go. And as I'm tuning in, I'm feeling whether something feels right. Do we need to emphasize that? Do we need to leave it? Do we need to remove it? Do we need to flush it? What do we need to do? So I'm always asking questions in my mind of the energy to see what we need to do as we're moving forward. So I think I've been doing this for a long time, so that's the best way I can perhaps describe it. So I think that's all. I think that's all I need to say. Let's get started. I'm eager to get started. The energy feels really nice this morning. So the first person I'm connecting with is Jane Corlett. Jane, please take a nice big breath. Now, if you're not Jane, perhaps you're just here, you're randomly here, maybe you're waiting for your turn, then I trust that you've been led here for a reason. So I do suggest that you take a nice big breath and be open to receiving and listening for what you need within these connections. I'm always receiving emails from people saying that the connection I made with so and so really resonated with me. It was like you were speaking directly to me. So don't think that because your name's not on the list that you can't receive something helpful. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that reason will reveal itself at some point. Of course, if you don't like what you are connecting with, if you don't resonate with what I'm doing, then you're very welcome to turn this off and go and do something else with your time. So I'm here, we are here to connect, and you're very welcome to stay if it resonates and if you're curious about it. So the first person I'm connecting with is Jane Corlett. Jane, please take a nice big breath, and let's grab the best card that we need to start this connection for you is Healing Energy Cards, Deck 1, and it is this. It's card 35, Flow of Love. Flow of Love. It says down here, open to the flow of love and allow it to guide you with everything. You can trust in your natural rhythm as you move deeper into yourself. So I liken this card specifically as like when we talk about going with the flow, I often see this flow as like a river, and we're moving with the river or the stream or the movement of our life, hopefully we're moving with it, we're going with the flow, we're utilizing things, we're letting go of things that are weighing us down, and all these sorts of things as we're flowing down this river. With this particular card, it's like we drop under the river down into the earth to an underground river, so a river that runs underneath the ground, through the caves perhaps, and through the darkness and the quiet, but also the loudness of being deep down in the earth. So there's something that's perhaps calling you down deeper into this deeper sense or a deeper connection with your flow is what I'm feeling from this card, Jane, with you. But let's tune in and we'll see what's loudest in your energy, which I didn't talk about before. So whatever's loudest in your energy as I tune in is going to stand out to me first, and I interpret that as best as I can. So we will see what happens. So Jane, take a nice big breath, and I see you dropping down into this cave, and it's like how I'm seeing it is like an archway over the top of this flowing underground river. So that's how I'm seeing it now. And like you've dropped down. So you've dropped down from the surface. I feel that there's probably something that you're craving more information on, a deeper understanding, more meaning, more purpose, perhaps more clarity, more direction, something more enriching, something more substantial about your life and your connection with the movement of your life. So your life's path, your life's direction, where are you going, what do you want, why are you here, why are you doing this, these types of really big questions. So this is forced, I feel like energetically for you to drop down under the surface of the things that are on the surface, the things that are just the playground, the things that maybe sometimes feel superficial or superficial, and dropping down underneath. So what I see you is you drop down like this hole in your path, this hole that dropped you down maybe 10 meters or something like that. So like a story, 1 story or so, or 2 stories down from the surface, down into this underground tunnel. And I see you drop down into this kind of canyon underground, and there's this just, I keep getting this feeling of arch, sort of cave or arch rock ceiling as you move through. The water's moving very quickly. It feels like this water to begin with feels very cleansing. So it feels quite cool and very fast. And I feel you on your back, and you're floating down, you're moving with this current. It's almost like it's really going downhill. So it's moving quickly, maybe not quite like a waterfall, but it's certainly going down. So it's going down, and it's going, if it's going down, it's actually going deeper. So there's a fast moving period now. This fast moving period is opportunity for you to clear and cleanse and purge and let go of things that you've been holding on to, especially things that have been weighing you down, your own mental burdens, your own emotional burdens as well, plus physical burdens, I feel I want to add in there, and letting them go. So it's like you're stripping off all this baggage as you're flowing down this underground river. So you're dropping off your baggage, you're taking off backpacks and bags and things that you've been tied to. You're letting these go as you move quickly down, almost like down the rapids, and you're going down deeper. So I feel like you're asking more questions. You're going deeper and deeper and deeper as you move down this fast moving river, and I can feel it just rushing through. As it rushes through and as it rushes over your body as well, it's cleaning and cleansing away things that you've been holding on to. And I see there's like little flakes of it's like dried up concrete, dried up mud that's been stuck to you. I feel these dried up large flakes coming off your skin and off your body. things that have been wrapped around your toes. Feels weird, like long strands of hair or little long strands of string or yarn that have been wrapped around your toes. So weird. And now the more I tune into this, the more I'm seeing it's like all these threads of different types of threads, different types of threads, different types of things that have just been like totally wrapped up around your toes. So that's very interesting. So they're being unraveled or untangled and just washing away as you're moving down. You're being stripped bare of everything that's holding you back as you move down the rapids of this river as it's on the decline. It's moving down deeper. So as we now get rid of that last bit of stuff, it's like the decline starts to flatten or plateau out. And now it feels like you're in this, it's still moving, but it feels stiller. It feels a bit motionless. Even though I can still feel a bit of a movement, there is just like almost a suspension or a motionless feeling here at the bottom of this decline, the bottom of these rapids so you've gone down deep. So you've gone down deep, maybe like 5, 6, 7 stories down from the surface of before. So you've come out now still, motionless, suspended in time, held here. And it sort of feels like soaking up this new feeling. This feeling of freshness, renewal, rebirth is also coming in as well. As you've been stripped bare of everything that's been holding you back, and you're just held here now. Okay, so the energy is just holding here. So I'm just seeing if there's anything else we need to do. It's just holding you here. It's almost like in a roundish pool, like all the water that came down and poured down into here to create this deep pool. And it's just this deep, it feels like a deep pool of healing, a healing pool. And then it moves on from here. So when you're ready to move out of here, you'll move down with that flow of that river again, which will be fast or slow depending on what you're going through. But for now, I feel you held in this pool, this deep pool of water. So because we have the water element here too, there's probably a connection here with emotions, especially with emotions, because the water has played such a big part in this healing. So it could be emotional ties or emotional attachments, emotional insecurities, emotional baggage, that sort of thing too, that's especially highlighted with this watery energy. And as you're held here suspended. Now water too, it feels like creativity. So as you're in this pool, it feels like creativity, the creation of life, the creation of things. It feels like fertility as well that's connected here. So as you're sort of held and just floating and suspended here in this water pool, I feel like this is like a birthing pool of sorts. It's birthing, it's creativity, it's creation itself, it's fertility. So something here, I feel like you're soaking up this fertility and this creation energy, this creativity, we could also say, as you prepare to create. What are you creating? Creating your life, creating things, building things, making things, things that last, things that help, things that stay, things that serve, things that bring something out. So like an expression, things that express. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some creativity surge here. So that's very interesting, Jane. I trust that makes sense. That's more of a bit of taking you through a bit of a healing rather than tuning in as such to your body. So I trust it's what you needed. Let's grab a card to add here. And the best card for you, Jane, to finish this connection off is Healing Energy Cards 2. And it is Overcome, card 94. It's also in the rest category. Rest category here. It says overcome obstacles, especially those created by your own negativity, attitude, bad habits, and mind. Avoid blame and face the darkness with your light. So it's like overcoming the shadow, overcoming the fear, overcoming the dominance of that negativity that may have had like a power over you. So this is like you rising up and you overcoming that, the demand of that power, and overcoming that somehow. So it's like instead of being submissive and vulnerable to that attack or to that heaviness, it's like you overpower this with your light. So that's very interesting. And I feel like this is you here. This is this energy that I feel of you kind of suspended in this pool of water. So this might also be an opportunity for you to really look at, perhaps more on a mental level, what are your flaws, your negativity, your attitude, that sort of thing on a mental level that has been overpowering you, overpowering others, overpowering your life, and assessing that, and then overpowering that or overcoming that yourself in this space of sort of suspension. So I trust that makes sense. Thanks so much for your support, Jane, and Happy New Year to you. Namaste. Okay, I'll pop these cards back in here and we'll see who's next. Welcome, everybody. So good to see you all. Thanks for coming in today. Next person it's Jackie. Are you still here, Jackie? Jackie, take a nice big breath, please. And let's see which card you need to start this connection today. Well, I'm being very much drawn to your feet just as I start here. Let's grab this and then we'll see where we go. It's Healing Energy Cards 2. Oh, card 28. Oh, sorry, 85. I'm looking at in reverse. And it looks like 28. 85. Radiance. It says, glow from within, shine your light, be at peace with yourself, be at peace with others. So this is shining from inside and shining your inner light out into the world, out to others. I feel like there's a lot of giving in this energy too that's coming out. It feels like it comes out from your heart, Jackie, and it comes out as giving, like a genuine sense of giving and wanting to see the best in and bring out the best in others. So I feel this coming out from you. And as this energy comes out, like it radiates like a lighthouse light, a light from a lighthouse that's beaming out here from your heart, coming from inside of you. It's not something you're desperately trying to find in others or out in the world. You're feeling, you've already established it. This is not something that happens instantly. So it's something that you, I feel, have learned and accessed for years. And there's been times where you haven't felt this. And I feel like there's this establishment of this inner light, that you've established it over time, established it over the years of your tests and trials with this, of your feeling the opposite or doing the opposite, but then coming back to this source and have well established this source of light that comes out from within you. So it's a giving, and it sort of has, as you give, and as you give in this way, as you offer the words or the presents or the gifts or whatever it might be, as you offer this out to others from your heart, the joy in that giving and the seeing what it does in a positive way also gives back to you. So there's like a receiving in the giving, which feels really beautiful. So this energy, I see you standing tall and just radiating this energy out. And as the energy goes out, it also comes back in, because it's like a momentum that builds. It's like the in and the out breath. So as you genuinely give from your heart, radiating from within, that just the giving of that and the gift of that and the action of that gives back to you. And it's just like this momentum, this pulse, this, and it is a pulse, it is a rhythm, it's like a rhythm that just builds momentum. So as you stand here, I see you standing tall, so standing tall like a pillar, tall like a tree, but less branchy. So I'd say more tall like a pillar or like a lighthouse, as you radiate this light out and it pulsates back to you. So it pulsates back to you. So there's this strength that's coming into your body that I'm feeling, a straightness as well, a sense of straightness and alignment that's coming in through your spine, through your body. It feels strong and solid in position. I'm being drawn down to your feet. So I'm just going to bring my feet together here on the floor. You might want to bring your feet together too, Jackie, or anyone this might be resonating with. I apologize. My allergies are up at the moment, so I hopefully won't be sneezing and things, but we will just see. So I'm very much drawn to your feet. And what I'd like to do is actually solidify the energy down here to help ground this great energy that I'm feeling pulsating, this pulsating rhythm out, this giving and receiving that's coming from your heart. I'd like to ground that just a little bit more, or anchor it down at your feet. So what I'm feeling now is like this straight pillar that comes through like this, which is totally fine. But what I'd like to do is just try and make it a little bit more pyramid shape, just very slightly. So widen it out a little bit at the base. So if you were standing tall, this would be sort of widening from around your knees down to your feet, just so that the base is really stable. This will help this energy, I feel, stand the test of time and stand the tests and the challenges that might come to try and blow this energy, blow it off center, or blow it out of balance, or blow it over. So it's like establishing, I guess, going back to the tree, it's like establishing roots that help keep the tree upright and keep the tree stable and help keep the tree withstanding the winds that might come in, the winds and the tests that it may, the storms that it may face. So I feel this energy from around your knees down just starting to widen up and starting to become what feels to me just a little bit more stable at the base. See, this is the potter in me too. If I have a straight thing, I want to just make sure it's slightly just a little bit wider at the base so it doesn't topple over. There's that sort of feeling here. So just bringing the energy out, so just sort of coaxing it out, widening it down here at your feet, which is basically at the ground, so that you can, I think it's also, there's something here about the stability, but also the endurance, your ability to endure or go the distance with this feeling, this really nice energy. So stabilizing the security and the stable energy. So bringing that out just a little bit, it's like flaring out the skirt that comes down here at your feet. So right down here at the ground, widening that. And as this energy widens, it also feels like it strengthens something in your lower back, almost like a rod that comes up your body that feels and holds it sort of upright and strong and aligned. There's something, feels like a rod that comes up from your feet, especially around the back of your feet, so around your heels, and it comes up into your lower back. It's a bit like a steel rod, so it feels strong and it feels unbreakable, and it feels like it just helps reinforce this stability and this strength, so it can endure, so it can continue, so it can stand the test of time and weather the storms and weather the winds, those sorts of things. So this rod, so it's very interesting. So it's in the lower back. It wants to anchor into your lower back. So this is usually the area where you hold onto past emotion. It might be the place where you're most susceptible to the storms knocking you over, or the energy stopping its flow. Might be to do with something that happened in the past that's connected with your sacral chakra. So your sacral chakra is your center for emotional, sexual, creative energies. And because it's in the back, the back part of this area, it's most likely connected with old emotions, something that happened from the past, something that is probably your Achilles heel, if you like, or your the part that you're probably most susceptible to or vulnerable to over time. So this is sort of being strengthened in a way, because it feels like it's been strengthened with this rod that runs down into the ground actually, but between your heels down here at the back of your feet. So this is helping also anchor your energy into the ground and anchor that stability that's coming through. Let's just see if there's anything else that we need to do. And this pulsating rhythm, this giving, this receiving here from the heart, this light feels just so beautiful. So hopefully it feels like we've strengthened that in some ways, grounded it, stabilized it, so that it continues on for as long as possible. So let's grab a card to add here for you, Jackie. I trust this makes sense. And the best card to finish this connection off is not these yet, I don't think, because I dropped them. The best card to finish this connection for you, Jackie, is this. Healing Energy Cards 2. And we have 68. 68, let life progress. An unwanted situation, trapped, stuck, stagnant, resistance, being held back. Move forward, help yourself, lifeline, optimistic, hopeful, and healing. So this is letting life progress, especially with something that might be an unwanted situation, something where you perhaps feel trapped or stuck, to keep moving. So keep moving things, keep moving forward. Let this energy progress and change and move. So it's quite different, the feeling here, because it feels more like a mouse going around on a wheel than the energy I've been connecting with feels very stable and very solid. So I think this would probably be representing that storm energy, the energy that's most likely to knock you out of that space of balance and alignment, that beautiful pulsation that I can feel there. So just watch the storms that so that you can weather the storms as best as possible. I trust that makes sense, Jackie. Thank you so much for your support, and wishing you a happy new year. Thank you so much. Namaste. Okay, let's take a drink. I have 2 more people on the list today. Thank you, Jackie. And if it was the pulsation, it's like a really deep musical instrument. What it reminds me of actually is this big singing bowl. Which I do have the beater here. And I know that in the videos this doesn't even pick up as well as what I feel this pulsation to be. So I'll play this for a second. And once the energy builds up, it's like a woo, 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 like, but really deep. That's what it reminds me of. So that it ripples out, but the rippling out also ripples the energy in. So beautiful. Thank you, Jackie. All right, let's see who's next. Next person is this person. It is Nicki Mohler. Nicki, please take a nice big breath and let's see what comes up for you today. What's loudest in your energy? Feels to me like so far that it's just like a check-in, like a checking in and then enhancing what I'm feeling. That's sort of the feeling that I'm having. It feels a little bit different than usual today, or so far. Okay, Nicki, the best card to start your connection is this Healing Energy Cards 2, and it is, oh, I love this card so much. It's card 98 called Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath. It says, the power of your breath. Speak up, let it out, see it through. Don't underestimate yourself. Breathe out and release. Avoid bottling up. and courage. And now I have one of these cards permanently under my pillow because it is fantastic to sleep to as well. But it's just, there's a warmth in this, a warmth and a surge kind of feeling. Dragon's breath. I love it. Okay, Nikki, nice big breath. Let's see what's going on. I see you walking or hiking up a mountain, and I feel like you've been hiking for some time, and I feel I'm looking from a zoomed out perspective. So I've zoomed out, I can see how far you've come, I can see where you're going, and it looks to me like there's a big pointy peak up ahead, and you're hiking along and going the distance. You're going the distance. I feel that there is a building, a hut of some sort that you're approaching now, a place of rest, a reprieve, restocking your resources, catching your breath, resting, whatever it is you need before you continue the hike, before you continue the trek. It feels like there is a peak coming up. Is this a real peak or a fantasy peak? Is this a, not fantasy, is this a, sometimes in fact often, our fear or what we fear blows things out of proportion. So I just want to check and make sure, is this a real peak coming up that you're preparing for, like an obstacle? Now the peak feels like a peak in your experience, but it also feels like a challenge to climb, if that makes sense, because the incline is greater, but the peak is higher. So the learning and the view from up here is greater than anything that's happened so far, is the feeling. But I want to check in and make sure this is a real peak and it's not a molehill that's turned into a mountain. So that's what I want to check. It does feel and look a bit unlike a mountain because it goes straight up to a point like this and then a point like this, a point. So it's like a bit of an unrealistic looking point to me, which is why I asked the question. It seems a bit suspicious to me that this point looks very cartoony rather than a legitimate looking mountain, especially as I zoom out and it still feels like a point. Like if you were to climb this mountain, you would stand literally on the point of the top and then you'd go from wherever it went from there. So to me, that just feels a little suspicious with the energy. It makes me feel like something may seem scarier, bigger, louder, higher, more difficult than it really is, more pointy, more challenging than it probably really is. So this is where I'm inclined to be leaning at the moment, because it just feels a bit unrealistic. Usually if we're climbing a mountain, I might feel like, say, we're half or a third of the way up and we could probably see a bit of the mountaintop from our perspective, but we can also see from where we've come before, and hopefully we have a nice view to enjoy along the way. But it feels very straight, and then this sort of peak that comes up. So it feels more like a cartoon. I'm very suspicious of this. So it makes me feel, Nikki, that there's something that might be coming up, something in the future, something that's happening now, or something you're anticipating, something you're fearing that feels like it's pointier, bigger, meaner, more challenging than it actually really is going to be. So I feel like in this hut, so this is a moment I feel now, perhaps in your life, maybe you've got a few days now where you can sort of catch your breath and catch up on rest and restock things and just sort of take stock of where you are in your life, because it feels like an old wooden hut. It's sheltered. It's a shelter. It's sheltered you along the way. It's almost like it skips ahead. When you've left the shelter, it goes ahead to somewhere else on your path. So this is a shelter, I feel like, a shelter that it's your own personal shelter that's sheltered you since you were a child, and it's always been there. So it's like a comfort. It's a bit like a child's favorite toy, their teddy bear or blanket or something, and it's their comfort, and it's there with them along the way. So this is what this shelter feels like. It's once you've used it and needed it and soaked up what you need from it, it kind of vanishes and then skips ahead for when you need it next. So it feels like there's some comfort in this, that there's something feels familiar about what you're going through now, or the rest, the reprieve, the restocking, the just the pause on your journey at this time. So there's something familiar about it. It might feel familiar. It might be the way that you deal with things at this time of the year or whatever it might be, but there's something familiar about this. And I have this feeling that when you step out of it, the whole view is going to be different. So it feels like a perspective shift too, as you're in this hut, as you're in this shelter. It's like something shifts your perspective. So it's like you go, the feeling here is that there's this traveling along a certain period, and then you take a break. Maybe things get too much or overwhelmed or whatever, and you step aside and you do what you usually do to shelter yourself or protect yourself or heal yourself, and then you come out with a new perspective. So I feel like you come out, so as I'm sort of zooming forward in time, I feel like as you step out, which you're not stepping out of yet, but as you step out, the whole landscape looks different. So again, this just highlights my suspicions of what felt before you entered the hut as a looming, difficult challenge up ahead, is actually not as looming and difficult, or perhaps even a challenge, as you might have thought before you walked into the hut. I don't know if that makes sense. So there's a perspective shift happening in here, and you might be in here for a couple of days, maybe a week. That's sort of the feeling here. So I feel like you're presently in this hut, you're in this shelter, you're doing those sorts of things that I talked about before. And I feel you resting. So I feel like you're resting on the bed, and relaxing and just letting some things go. There's a nervous feeling here. I feel that energy being let go of. I feel a nervous energy here in the solar plexus. And working with your breath. And dragon's breath. Working with your breath to let that go. Let go of that nervousness or that anxiety that you might have been feeling, especially about what was looming, what was potentially coming, that was probably being made a bigger deal of, perhaps in your mind, than it really was, which is easy to happen. So resting. So while you're laying down in this bed, just bringing down some green healing light. So it's like a turquoise green, showering, or not really showering, it's more flowing down over you. Like it feels smooth. It feels like really smooth energy. So it's smooth and it's flowing, and it just flows down from above and just down over your body and into your body. And you just soak up all the energy that you need, and then the excess just drains out from the soles of your feet, just drains off out from the end of the bed, like the soles of your feet are like a drain, and it's just draining all the excess out. But all the excess out looks a bit dirty to begin with, so it's like a flushing of the drains, or a flushing of the pipes, and then that will be flushed out clear, no doubt, before too long. So that energy comes in. I feel like it also clearing energy around your shoulders, so to do with perhaps burdens that you've been carrying, difficulties that you've been carrying as well. So allowing those things to be let go, and especially that nervous, anxious energy here in your solar plexus. So letting all those things go, letting everything go that's holding you back. So that's what I'm feeling here. Now, is there anything else that we need to do? Just allowing that energy to continue until it's not needed any longer, and until that energy comes out of the soles of your feet clear. That energy will continue. And I feel, just be aware of this perspective shift. If you have the healing energy cards too as well, Nikki, I would probably grab that card from the deck, the Dragon's Breath, and keep it close by for a couple of days, because I feel like that will be very supportive while you're in the shelter, while you're in the hut, and then be open to things looking different in your life, in others, as you step out. So this actually shows that in the hut or the shelter is a place of healing for you. because if we've done real healing, our perspective will shift as we move out. So, for example, someone that we are really agitated by, perhaps that really irritates us, anything they say, we just maybe makes our skin crawl or whatever. We just don't have a good resonance with this person. If we do genuine healing around that, and the timing's right for it, and we can really fully let go, it could take a little bit of time. It's often that we come out of that place of healing, and that person will not bug us like they bugged us before. So we will see, and this is how we know this is when healing works, is when these kind of subtleties shift within us and our relationships and our life itself, and how we feel about ourselves is also included. So something like that, I feel. So that makes me feel like this hut or this shelter is a place of healing for you. It could be the place you go to. It could be a physical place, but it could be an internal place for you, Nikki. Here's the best card to add here at the end. It's also from the second deck, and it's card 100. It says, release the guilt. So this is definitely burdens, dropping, guilt that you're letting go of at this time, so that you can learn the wisdom, the wisdom from this energy, rather than letting it weigh you down and overcomplicate, over amplify things that just blow things out of proportion, is what I'm saying. So release the guilt as you let go, and while you're in this place of shelter and healing. So thanks, Nikki. Thanks so much for your support, and Happy New Year. I do trust this resonates and supports you. Thank you so much. Okay, so last person on the list has to be Susan. It is. Surprise, surprise. It's Susan Sonsteng. So Susan, please take a nice big breath, and let's see what comes up for you. So we'll start with the healing energy card, and we will go from there. Oh, I feel a movement. I feel zipping movement. I feel a pull, especially a pull from the belly, which feels more like from the navel, a pull forward. So I feel movement. I feel zippy, zappy, moving, fast energy at the moment. Healing energy cards 1, we have I am expanding. So I am expanding your true self, your heart, your being, your light is expanding, not your lower ego demanding. Now, we can tie this in a little bit with Nikki's from before, is that the ego, the fear, the voice of our hurt and pain does tend to blow things out of proportion. So we think that those energies are expanding. They actually become just, they become bigger and more looming, but it's not, it's usually a bit illusional. Even though it feels very real, it's kind of weird. But the only thing that can really truly expand is our light. So this is about your light expanding. It's creating opportunities and expanding and growing, growing from the heart. So a bit like with Jackie's energy, that how I felt this energy pulsating out like a light out from the heart, and then the pulsation brings the light back. So it's like a momentum, a pulsation, a rhythm that builds on itself. So that's like the expansion of that light energy. So that's what this card's about. It's about the expansion of the light. It's about the light, the truth, which is the opposite of illusion. This is growing and this is expanding, and it expands on itself. So as we commit or choose to commit to our truth, for example, then that energy expands. So it expands out into our life. So there's an expansion feeling here of light. Okay, Susan, so I'm feeling this rush of energy here. It feels like a speed train, like a high-speed train. And it's pulling forward, but it's pulling forward from your navel. So your navel's in between your sacral and your solar plexus chakras. So the emotional center, the power center, and this pulling forward here. So it's like a train just moving forward. And it's almost like you're being bent because the energy is just pulling forward so strong here that there's this bending back feeling at the top and this bending back feeling from the bottom. So like this pulling forward like this, and the body's just slightly bent back and back. So there is something, a force that's pulling you forward. I'm slightly concerned that the body's not in alignment, so that the rest of the body's kind of pulled back as this force moves forward. But sometimes that happens, so I just want to get more of the bigger picture before we do anything about that if we need to. I feel like your legs are trying to run at the speed of this high speed train, and your legs can't quite keep up, which is why they feel like they're slightly back from the front position, if that makes sense. So I feel like you may be trying to trying to keep up. Maybe you might have even been feeling overwhelmed, as especially if you're trying to keep up with everything that's going on and you can't quite keep up because the energy's just moving so fast. What I actually want to do, it feels like you're running next to a high-speed train, and for some reason the pull or the force is coming from your navel. Your feet are trying to keep up. Your head is just a bit like a cartoon character as well, with your head back and your arms kind of flailing back as well. But I actually want to just get you onto the train so you don't have to work so hard to try and keep up with this fast moving energy. Sometimes the energy moves this fast, and if we're trying to do everything or take everything on or run beside the high speed, before too long we probably become overwhelmed. So I actually want to run you up the little steps that I can see on the train. The train feels like it's here on the left, that's moving very quickly, that you're trying to keep up to speed with. There's a couple of steps, so you jump up these steps and onto the train, and you find your seat. And here I already feel that you can catch your breath again, like you're running out of breath, literally. So here you find your seat and you're moving. The train's moving you rather than you trying to keep up with the train. There feels to be a difference. So here, as you now sit on the train and you can watch from the view of your window how fast things are moving by, you can go with the flow better rather than trying to keep up with the speed of things. So while you're in this position, while you're on this seat, I feel like there's just a couple of things we need to do. First of all, I feel like we need to get your body back into alignment. So that means bringing in or bringing back this energy here that's pulling from your navel, and bringing forward the energy from your head and the part in between, and forward the part from your feet, so that we can get your body into a nice straight aligned position. And this will help prepare you for when the train slows down and you need to get off and deal with your things. Usually these high speed periods, they're temporary. They don't tend to last that long because they're very hard to maintain for a long period of time. So it might only be a couple of days. It could be a week, perhaps at the most, where you'll be on this high speed train. So what I feel like I can best do is help prepare you and realign you for when you disembark the train, and then get back into wherever you find yourself, wherever the train has taken you on your path. So this is an acceleration. If we look at in regards to your life's path, Susan, this is like an acceleration, a leap forward, for lack of better words, a leap forward on your life's path. The train is moving on your life's path and it's going fast. So things are going quickly. You'll find yourself probably when you disembark in a bit of a different setting. Things may have changed a bit, which is certainly not a bad thing. I feel like this is a progression. So it's a movement forward. It's a leap forward on your path. So something's sped up, something's happening, something's moving, something's progressing, something's starting, something's opening, something's moving. That's the feeling here. So while the train's doing its thing, let's get you into alignment. So I imagine you standing up. So you were sitting down, just catching your breath, and now standing up on the train. So in the middle of the train, so there's lots of seats, you're in the aisle, and you're standing up here. So your feet together as you stand up, and imagining now too that the weight of your body is being held evenly on both legs. So you're not favoring a left side, favoring a right side. You're not leaning forward. You're not leaning back. That the weight, especially if your torso is evenly distributed with your hip on your hips, your legs, and your feet. So we just want to make sure we're not tilting in any direction. That the weight is evenly distributed. You can slightly bend your legs if you want to stand up. You can slightly bend your legs if you need to support yourself a little bit more with that weight distribution. So this is a really good thing for any of us to do if we need to get back into alignment. So just make sure your body, the weight of your body's been evenly distributed on both sides of your legs, if possible, if you don't have an injury or something like that. So that's the first thing to do, is to just lock your feet and your legs into position, into alignment, because that's going to be where we build upon. So it's a bit like building a foundation or the base of a pyramid, and we build on from there. So if the base is in alignment, then we can align from that base. So with your legs, so from your hips down, I see in alignment here, holding the weight evenly. Your feet just slightly apart, your knees slightly bent, just to hold that weight and hold that position as you're moving on this high-speed train. So there's a little bit of wobbling involved, but that's okay. So from here, I feel that the torso sits on the hips. So if the hips down are aligned and straight and evenly distributed with weight, then the torso sort of sits on there. So now we just need to make sure the torso is in alignment with the lower part from the hips down. So we want to make sure we're not leaning forward at the hips or back or side, or even tilting. Often the shoulders will tilt. So the shoulders will probably pull forward to the left, or pull forward to the right, or pull back to the left and back to the right. So we want to make sure our shoulders are square with our hips, and we want to make sure we're not leaning to the sides or leaning forward or back. So we want our torso to be plonk, straight, square on, aligned, locked into our hips, and this will also lock our spine into a straight position. So just imagining that with you here, Susan, in the train. And just bringing things, so just tilting things and bringing things into alignment. Now, the area to especially focus on here for now is the navel area, which was pulling forward before. So just making sure that's sort of tucked in and is in alignment with the rest of your torso. So you're not pulling yourself too far ahead or making extra work for yourself, that kind of thing, putting extra pressure on you, that sort of thing. So just tucking that energy back and making sure your torso, especially your shoulders as well, are in alignment. So shoulders square with your hips all facing forward. Your feet are facing forward, your hips are facing forward, your shoulders are facing forward. And now the head. So making sure the head is facing forward, not turned, not up or down, and is square on the torso. So we want to make sure it's square in alignment with your spine, so that there's this, imagining this rod that goes up. Your body's a pillar, your body has a rod going up and down its spine in alignment. Now, as soon as the head locks into alignment and is looking straight ahead, which is where the train's going, because the train represents your life's path right now, something opens up in your crown. So I wouldn't be surprised if before you've been feeling a bit disconnected, because something opens up in the crown, like the crown was closed off before that I didn't realize, but something's opened up in here, and all this energy comes gushing in. It's like a shower of white light comes down from the universe above and showers or fills you up in your body like you're an empty cylinder. So it fills you up like you're an empty glass or an empty bottle, and up to the crown, and then the energy overflows over your skin. So it's like a waterfall of white light all around your body. Then that's the thing too, when we are in alignment, we're also grounded, we're also connected. So it's a little easier to connect in with spirit when we are in alignment. If we're all over the place and we've got parts of our body moving forward when others are pulling back, it's the energy it's not moving sort of in a straight line going down the body. It's sort of all jagged. It just feels like it's harder to connect when we feel like that. So this alignment has also connected you, so plugged you in like a cord that's come out of your crown, plugged you into the universe above. Now the grounding's a bit hard to do at the moment because you're in a high speed train. So just making sure that your feet are nice and stable, and always holding the weight of your body evenly. So it's something to do when we're standing up, is just make sure we're holding our body evenly on our feet and on our legs and our hips. So it's hard to ground properly when we're in a high speed train. So it's probably highlighting, Susan, that you may have been feeling ungrounded, like a bit like you're flying away or floating in the stars. A little bit hard to anchor yourself and ground yourself. So hopefully this alignment will help you, and this reconnection will help you. But I also feel it's preparing you for when the train slows down and you disembark, and then you deal with whatever you're dealing with in your life, whatever's changed. So whatever's shifted since you've been on the train. So enjoy, because these sort of periods of high speed, these periods of these leaps forward in our life are pivotal moments that we often look back on, and this is a big growth time or a big important time in our life. So it's something to enjoy and take it as an opportunity. So I'm going to add or grab another card here. We'll see what this wants to be to finish off, Susan. So the best card to complete your connection and tie things up is this. It's from the first deck. And we have a Rebirth card 18. This is about letting go. It's about shedding. It's about burning away things that things that have expired in your life. Letting things go, stripping things back. So that might be important for you. Let go of old wounds that hold you back. Shed that old skin and release. To release is to rebirth. Strip back the expired, throat healing, and truth. So rebirth, letting go so that you can step into the new. So it makes me feel that this is an opportunity for you to prepare yourself, a little bit like Nicki in the hut or the shelter, that this is this time in this high-speed train is also an opportunity for you to heal, to strip things back, to cleanse, to let go, and to prepare yourself for the next phase of your life, which is wherever this train's going to pull up and stop. So thanks so much, Susan. I trust this resonates. Thank you for your support, and Happy New Year to you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. If you would like to be a part of this healing event next month, I do them at the end of every month, then please have a look at my Patreon link in the video description. And to be a part of this experience is $50 a month. Plus you get access to a bunch of other things too, other healing events, Pillar of Light membership, and other things. So please have a look if you might be interested. I will be back again tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I'm quite sure it's tomorrow for our Healing List event. So I look forward to connecting with some of you then, perhaps. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here. Namaste.